I wish I could say it started with that one comment. But it didn't. It started slowly, quietly, like poison dripping into water. He wasn't even a stranger. He was part of the extended family. Not blood-related, but close enough to be unavoidable. At first, it was subtle. A smirk when I spoke. An eye roll when I entered the room. Little comments disguised as jokes. "Wow. Bold outfit choice. You're confident, I'll give you that." And people would laugh. Because that's what people do when cruelty is wrapped in charm. But over time, the mask slipped. The abuse becomes clear. It wasn't just jokes anymore. It was targeted. Calculated. Public. One night, during a family gathering, someone mentioned relationships. He leaned back in his chair, looked straight at me, and said, "Honestly, it would be embarrassing to be married to someone like you. You know that feeling? When your chest tightens, your ears start ringing, and suddenly you're hyper-aware of every single person watching you?" I felt my face burn. I wanted to disappear. But the worst part? No one stopped him. Because he had something I didn't. Status. Money. Connections. He treated people based on their value. And in his eyes? I had none. Breaking point. That night, I went home and stared at myself in the mirror. Every insult replayed in my head. Physically revolting. Low-quality human being. Not worth basic respect. I started to believe it. That's the dangerous thing about repeated cruelty. It doesn't just hurt you. It rewrites you. And for a moment, just a moment, I wanted revenge. Not loud, dramatic revenge. Something quieter. Something deeper. Something that would make him feel what I felt. The dark idea. And that's when the thought came. What if he became obsessed with me? Not openly. No. That would be too easy. I imagined something much worse. Him. Secretly drawn to me. Conflicted. Ashamed. Humiliated by his own feelings. Because how could someone like him be attracted to someone like me? The irony would destroy him. He would never admit it. Never act on it. But he'd have to live with it. That was the revenge. Not pain. Not confrontation. Psychological chaos. The plan. Or so I thought. I started spiraling. Reading things I never thought I would. Looking for ways to influence feelings. Control outcomes. It felt powerful. Like I was finally taking control after being powerless for so long. But deep down, something didn't feel right. Because every scenario I imagined still revolved around him. His attention. His reaction. His suffering. Even in my revenge, he was still the center of my world. The turning point. And then something unexpected happened. I talked to someone. Not in detail. Not the whole plan. But enough. And every plan I made, every emotion I felt, was still controlled by him. Even my revenge. The realization. I went home that night, and sat in silence. No distractions. No noise. Just me. And the truth I'd been avoiding. I didn't actually want him to suffer. I wanted to feel whole again. I wanted to feel like I mattered. Like I wasn't what he said I was. And suddenly, the revenge didn't feel satisfying anymore. It felt small. The shift. So I made a different decision. Not revenge. Reflection. I asked myself questions I'd been avoiding. Why did his words hurt so much? Why did I believe them? Why was I trying to prove my worth to someone who had none to give? And for the first time, I stopped focusing on him and started focusing on me. The quiet transformation. It wasn't dramatic. No glow-up montage. No instant confidence. Just small changes. Setting boundaries. Speaking less, but meaning more. Not reacting to his comments. And something interesting happened. When he made a remark, I didn't shrink anymore. I didn't respond. I just looked at him. Calm. Unbothered. And that seemed to bother him more than anything ever had. The subtle shift in power. Because people like him? They thrive on reaction. On dominance. On making others feel small. But when you stop reacting, They lose control. And I started to notice it. The hesitation in his voice. The way he avoided direct comments sometimes. The way his confidence flickered. I didn't need to make him obsessed with me. Because I had already done something far more powerful. I made him irrelevant. The final moment came at another gathering. Same setting. Same people. Different me. He made a comment, something snide, something familiar. And for the first time, no one laughed. Because I didn't react. I just looked at him. Calmly. Like he wasn't worth the energy. And in that silence, something shifted. Not in me. In him. He looked uncomfortable. Almost unsure. Like he didn't recognize the game anymore. Because the rules had changed. I wasn't playing. Sometimes the most satisfying revenge isn't making someone else suffer. It's taking back the version of yourself they tried to destroy. Because the moment you stop needing their validation, they lose every ounce of power they ever had. If this story hit you on a personal level, drop a comment and tell me, what would you have done? And if you want more deep, emotional revenge stories that actually make you think, hit like, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.